Looking for a base spot to start out in Ark Ascended's Aberration? Well, today I'm going to be sharing 10 of my favorite starting location spots to build a base. Let's get into it. So this first area is a pretty nice location, to be honest. So you'll be coming along here, and there's this lovely, massive, flat area, loads of space. You have a Healy plant nearby as well in the local area. And to be honest, you could use this whole just shelf anywhere along here. You could use, it's covered by a lot of trees, but once you take a few trees away, it's a lot easier to see what's there. So lovely big flat ground. I tend to like this area of it though, because you could build your base on this really safe bit on the end here and have like a little drawbridge across. That's kind of what I like this idea for. So for this little spot in question, where I'll just have the little display house, I'll show you on the map. So this area is at 4053, very close to Fertile Lake. So you should be able to find this spawning in to a starter zone, and I'll zoom that in a little bit as well so you can see there. This next location is really nice, as you can get a really nice view, especially if you take some of these bigger trees away. You can get a nice view of the lake down below. Or you can at least see the lovely tree in the distance, is why I kind of like it. But right here is where we would be basing, so you can see I got like a little reference house there, and you have this lovely flat territory up here where it's pretty safe, and you could probably build like a really long-term base here as well if you really wanted to. Loads of space. I mean, you can get some nice little light pets up here as well, and there is some easy green crystal to the side as well that might be a little helpful if you follow the path this way. There should be some, and the nice thing about living on a cliff as well is you can lure things off the cliff, which is always a plus. So green crystal there. Here's a little recommendation. Let's have a look on the map right here. We are on the eastern side of the Fertile Lake, so it's at 1554, and if I zoom in a little bit more, you can see just tucked back there against that back wall, so you have a nice high spot for yourself right there. I really like this next location. It's a really little chill spot. Again, you have the advantage of having a little cliff as well, which you can drag things off when it's getting a bit, you know, dicey. But here you can have like a decent sized house on this spread here. Let me just fly up so you can get a better idea. So this would be how you get in, and then you have this whole little like plateau area to yourself. So there you go, that's a really good one. You have a tree there as well you could use, and you could like set up here if you wanted to, and then maybe later on if you wanted to, you could build like a castle or something up on the big bit on the top. But I think it should be like a really solid little starter base area, and it's not too far from water either. So just over here, just going down a bit, there is a nice little water source right there that you could use for your little house here. So yeah, I really like this little location. It's very sweet, and it should do for a perfect starter base. Let's have a look on the map, shall we? 3258 for this location at the Fertile Lake, and let's zoom in a little bit. There you go. This location is 100% a spot with a view. You'll be able to look into the blue zone if you build close to the waterfall, and it has a charge station not too far up from it either, and a couple of healing plants, so that's quite useful. You also get a drop quite centrally nearby, and it's on the border of the blue, so it's quite a good useful place to be. It is a bit more dicey with a few more like raptors and yearling around that you'll have to be careful of. But if you're feeling, you know, adventurous, it could be a very promising spot for the future for you to build up upon. So with that being said, I'm going to leave this spot here, and I'm going to give you a little map reference of where I got this little house right here on this lovely riverside spot. So if we have a look at my map, it's at 4067 right here. And zooming in a bit further, you can see at the end of the river, just by the blue zone. This next location will need you to clear some foliage like the trees, but once you've uncovered it, you'll be in for a really nice surprise. So it's a nice big kind of flat area. You can get like a little house on here. I just put this one on the edge. And the kind of nice thing about this starter area is, again, you got a plateau for safety. You can see there's like sheep in the area. There's otters and tons of trilobites in this pond, meaning you can get some really nice passive tames going on. There's a lot of passive tames in this area, to be honest. The biggest thing you'll get is just those traditional raptors, and I haven't seen any ravagers around here, but I'm sure there probably is. But the nice thing about this spot is it's quite nice and flat on here, and there's a lot of room that you could use for a solid base, and you could wall it off. If you walled off this like down here section part, you could probably have quite like a snug little beginner base here. I just really like it. It's a lovely little spot. It's very scenic once you've removed some of the trees, and you're in a pretty good map position as well, to be honest, in this little spot right here. So let's get a little map reference going. Let's have a look on our map. This location is in 3978, and if we zoom in a little bit more, you can see the map in a closer view. This next location is really nice if you can get to it, and you can get Shinehorns here as well. It's literally just on the border of the blue and the green zone. It's literally on a walkway down, but you veer off to a little place you could live. So the beauty with this spot is, one, you could go up to the green zone quite easily. Two, you could go down to the blue zone quite easily for different tames, and the blue zone is really good for metal. This spot is also really nice because it has a charge beacon thing in it, and I'm pretty sure, let me just have a look, there is a gas vein here somewhere as well. Oh yeah, there it is. It just wasn't showing up for me. It's right next to the charge beacon, so you could have 2 of these in your base, which would be really nice, as you could get to use it as like a type of terminal, and you can make yourself some element in there as well, which is really handy. You also get blue crystals dotted along the edge of this area, but it's quite safe, to be honest. You come along here, minus just the start of the blue stuff, so you might get a few ravagers and snakes on this platform. You can literally avoid the pathway down, and then you can go like straight up back into the red woody biome up in the green zone. So it's a really nice spot on the border. It might be a little tricky to get down to. Maybe you want to tame like a ravager first, or maybe a few raptors or something. But once you get down here, honestly, it's like a spot you would want to live almost permanently. It's a really good location, really, really solid. But yeah, I thought I'd mention it because I have started here before, and I really do like it. So let's have a look on our map. We are at 5378, and we're zooming a little bit. You can see we're right on the border. Alrighty, coming to our next area, mid-earthquake, because why not, hey? This area actually found not so long ago, and I really kind of like it because it's like on the edge of danger, but not really. So with this location, it's going to be like a long base. So you have this nice little cute area where you could like tuck a house, as I have done here, and you could tuck it like right into the rock if you really so wanted to in this crack, or you could just put it under this shelf here. And I think it would be like a really nice place to start because you can utilize this and you can cut it off is the idea. So if you went around here, you would cut off essentially this end of the walkway and you'd have yourself a, well, fairly safe platform. Basilisk isn't really helping game. Oh dear, I'm on single player. The spawns are a little wild, honestly. I'm not gonna lie. But that would be the idea. You have this plateau to yourself. It's pretty safe. And when you're ready to like level up and move, you can always go up above to the platform over there. But this is like on the edge of danger, which is the reason I like it. So you got charge station below. You got Healy plant below. You also got another charge station and a place where drops can consistently drop. You also got near the river, and that's the spicy part, spinos and crabs, which I mean might be really nice later on because they will be really nice for organic polymer and just taming in general if you want to use those to go in the red zone and stuff like that. Also, basilisks, if you want. Not very common in this area. Again, a single player kind of wild, but I like this area because it's like a safe shelf, and then you have the dangers below. You also have a few passive tames if you were to go up towards the forest that way a little bit more. Let's have a look on the map right here where we are. So I'll zoom out a bit. We are at 4770, and if we zoom in from here, you can see it's right on the edge of this little nublet right here and near the river, which is nice. At the 8th location, I call this like the arcade place because this machine reminds me of just like a massive arcade, kind of. I really like it though. It's a really nice little spot. It has a gas vein number 1, Healy plant number 2, which I just poisoned myself on the gas vein. Charge station up the road, and once we finished going blah 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 blah, you got like this nice little flat spot. It is a few crystals around, and you could like put a base next to this, or maybe you could do it on top or inside of it, kind of. There's like this little section you could have just up in this little cusp right here, or you could live on this part here as well if you wanted to. It's kind of close to one of our previous locations in the waterfall over there, but you'd be like right next to the river. There's another gas vein down there. You'd be able to get otters, trilobites, stuff like that just from down there, and then you just have like this nice little shelf up here, which is fairly flat. It's a little bit sloped, but you could definitely do something with this area. I think it would be like really quite nice, honestly. And you got a couple of trees in the area. Also, for later on, there's a surface location over there just up the top, so very nice little tiny little location with lots of amenities and metal in the area as well. Literally just down that way. So on the map, let's have a look at this location. This is at 3966, and if we zoom in a little bit there, you can kind of see where we're standing. And here we are. Our next location is on a plateau again, which is fairly safe, and the river down below you can get some more spicy things going on. A charge beacon not too far away, and there's a drop location as well just below where this little area is. The only thing I would say about this area is like it is a tiny bit lumpy, so you'd have to like build in a certain way, but it could be a great spot to like set up like a little starter zone, like a starter house. Maybe you could, because it's a plateau, and that's the reason I like plateaus, wall it off a bit, so you could wall it off from like this point to the wall, and then you could stop any mean creatures coming through, and it could be a good area just to be in, like a safe area but on the border of a slightly more spicy area to get set up. Also another drop over there, and a Ravager vine you could use to get over to that drop location as well. So 2 drops in your area, kind of ideal. Nice Otter River down there, Crabby Spino River over there for the more bigger tames later in life. And you could go up there to go to Fertile Lake for some, you know, some more herbivores and stuff. I like the idea, though, of this location. It's a little bit lumpy as its only downside, but it's another one of those, like, mystical fairy looking areas. It's really nice for that. So, having a look on our map right here, we are at 3852. So, very close to Fertile Lake. We're just going down into the green zone here a bit more. Zooming in, there you go, you get a little bit of a better view. And here we are at our final location, which I definitely say is for a bit more of an experienced starter place. This I had to include the other side of the map, right, for the green zone. So we're here on the map, just a quick reference. I'll show you the proper stuff in the end. Near the portal room, I thought we needed to include that because we didn't have like a space around here at all. And I actually found like a really nice spot. So you have this plateau. Again, you know, I'm a sucker for that. Great early on safety point having one of these, and some easy walls and stuff. So you have that nice big spot there. It's actually quite big, quite chill as well. And then you can go along here and you can see there's like these little bridgeways and all of that. But you would ideally come along here, go through here, and then you can make your way up to the river and the portal area. I will say you might need to be a little bit careful yielding if you find them around here. But it's quite close to the river, and I think it would get you like a nice little setup going. It's pretty calm around on this corner right here. Just a little bit more spicy if you go down and around type deal. So that is the kind of, you know, catch-22 with it. But yeah, I wanted to share it because it would get you near the portal if that's where you wanted to be. And it's quite chill. I don't know if a lot of people would pick this spot, so that's kind of why I wanted to share it. Having a look on the map here, we are at 53:44. So you're quite close to like the red and blue action from this point here, and the portal, so you're near the cave as well, and a surface entrance over here. But if we zoom in, it's this kind of little area around here. Either way, that is my starter base locations. Hopefully it gave you some inspiration on where to put a base, whether you're starting out or maybe you want a bit of a longer term base location. Hopefully it gave you some inspiration. There's going to be another video covering a lot more base spots for more permanent locations as well coming on the channel in the future. So subscribe so you don't miss that one. And there's going to be many more aberration guides. So also check my channel out for those type things. If you like the video, give it a like. It helps a load. And thank you for watching. I love you. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.